Now, with your permission, sir, may I just read on behalf of all the minorities the voice that they have given so that you can hear it. It is with deep sense of honor and the making of history that we as minorities and marginalized communities come together under your esteemed administration to celebrate the World Minorities Day. Your Excellency, allow me to convey warm greetings from minorities and marginalized communities across the entire country, and only represented by those ones who are in this place. Thank you for recognizing us. Thank you for making us feel an integral part of this nation. Your Excellency, this day was first observed internationally on 18th December 1992, when the United Nations adopted the Declaration on the Rights of Persons Belonging to National or Ethnic, Religious, and Indigenous Linguistic Minorities. The recognition of minorities was meant to protect their existence and their rights to enjoy their culture, to participate in decisions that concern them, and to enjoy fundamental freedoms without discrimination. For the last 60 years, the aspirations of minorities and marginalized communities have remained profound. They have always dreamt of a day when they will be officially recognized, a day when historical land injustices will be relegated to the past, a day when discrimination against them will end, a day when there will be a fair representation in governance and political processes, a day when their culture will be valued and preserved, a day when they will access equal opportunities in employment and health and education. Your Excellency, sir, minorities and marginalized communities are totally natural resource dependent for their livelihoods, and climate change therefore presents an additional burden to them. It is therefore imperative that any planned climate action is likely to affect their livelihood and should include their priorities, views, dreams, and aspirations. This is because no one knows their ecosystems better than the people who live and depend on the resources they are in. These communities, therefore, are your best army in the fight to address climate change impacts. Your Excellency, sir, the long-awaited day is finally here. We attribute its realization to divine providence and your visionary leadership. For this, we profoundly thank you. Your Excellency, during your tenure as Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, you established the Minority and Marginalized Communities Department. And as a result, you provided employment to several members of our community and appointed some to key government positions. The formation of the National Professional Caucus of Ethnic Minorities and Marginalized Communities, to which I am their leader, of which I have the privilege to serve as their chair, was made possible through your support. On 13th of February 2022, during your visit at Marigat, you made a commitment to collaborate with us on the journey of inclusivity to address issues of minorities and marginalized communities. You further pledged that Kenya Kwanza Plan will operationalize Article 56 of the Constitution of Kenya. As I stand before you today, I'm pleased to observe that you have fulfilled some of these commitments within the first year of your being elected as the president, and we want to applaud you for that. The Minorities and Marginalized Communities Affairs Unit has been established under your office, having been elevated from a department that it was before under the Office of the Deputy President. We take note that this has enhanced the stature of the unit and given the right of the minorities and marginalized communities the attention they deserve. Your Excellency, sir, we would like to sincerely thank you for your immense support and leadership in recognizing the rights of minorities and marginalized communities in Kenya. In order to maintain the momentum and achieve our national dream and equal society, we would like to request your government to, 1, fully operationalize Article 56 on minorities and marginalized communities. Article 63 on community land. Article 100 on representation of minorities and marginalized groups. In addition, Your Excellency, the National Professional Caucus on Minorities and Marginalized Communities would like to meet with you at a time of your convenience soon, so that we can have a personal relationship and talk as much as we can due to the time limitation. Your Excellency, sir, the journey to this day has been long and onerous. To get here, it has taken unbreakable determination and commitment of many people. Your Excellency, allow me to have a special mention of a few of them. The Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service, Honorable Felix Koskei, who has become an ardent champion of the rights of minorities and marginalized communities. We want to thank you, sir, for playing that role that we are here today. Prime Cabinet Secretary, I have mentioned that, Your Excellency, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, who has always been supportive of the cause for an inclusive Kenya. Governors who went out of their way to sponsor delegates to this event. PSS Foreign Affairs, PS Foreign Affairs, Dr. Koril Singoei, who has consistently and selflessly fought for the rights of the minorities and marginalized communities. PS Aurelia Rono, a passionate ambassador of minorities and marginalized communities. Honorable Josephat Lowoi, Director of Office of Minorities and Marginalized Communities Affairs, who has worked tirelessly to make this day realized, and we want to thank him. Wakili Kisabit Kiprop, Legal Affairs Advisor in the Executive Office of the President, who has remained loyal to the struggle for the rights of minorities and marginalized communities. Your Excellency, there is a young man named Moses Olekachike. He set aside his employment and came to the office to support our director, Josephat Lowoi. And through this young man, we can see all these people coordinated together to this congregation. And so we want to thank him. He comes from the Iljamus community from Baringo. In finalizing, I would like to acknowledge the National Professional Caucus and your government officers who have worked tirelessly, including our sister, whom we have referred to as Chairperson Goyoni. She has rallied us, worked very hard, and made your aspiration realized today. We also want to acknowledge Dr. Raymond Omolo, PS for State Department of Interior and National Administration, who mobilized communities to come here and provided security to them. We want to thank you for that. We want to thank Dr. Belio Kipsang, I saw him around, for supporting the process, the buses that have ferried these delegates, our minorities here. Through your support, we acknowledge that. We acknowledge Sylvia Museya, PS Wildlife. We acknowledge Umi Bashir, who has been here, PS Culture and Heritage, for the support that you have given us. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and prosperous 2024. I thank you, sir.
Bwana Chair, asante sana. Thank you so much for your brilliant speech. Your Excellency, it is good to note that we have 58 minority communities in our country, and they are all represented here today. Your Excellency, from the coastal region to the Turkana side, to the northern side, to the western side of this country, to the central part of this country, all minorities are here today to celebrate this day. Mjipigia makofi. Your Excellency, there is a technical team that did a brilliant job in bringing this together, and I would like for them to stand up and at least wave and be recognized for the brilliant job. Ngoyonian team, Director Lowoi, the Bomas team, all the technical team that took part of this journey, please wave. Pigia hao makofi. Kama si hao, hii haingefanyika. Asanteni sana, Your Excellency, Head of Public Service, through your office. We appreciate the fact that the minorities have a directorate under your office, which is a first time thing. It shows the fact that we're taking this very seriously as a government, and we will support however we can. Our minorities are part and parcel of us. We are not leaving anybody behind. That is the Kenya Kwanza regime.